Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and you guys, oh my word, I have never had more requests for a face look in my life than I did in my Wet n Wild Snowmelt video, which I will go ahead and link up here. I went through and I did a wear test on their new powder lipsticks, and it was a really fun video to film, and I will admit that my makeup in that video did look amazing, but I was so shocked and so honored that you guys in the comment section went off. You were like, girl, we need to see this. We need to know what's on your face. Like, we need to dive in to that look. I've had requests before for like a nice glowy bronzy look, and let me tell you, this trumps any and all other requests I have ever received. So we are going to sit down today. I'm going to dive into what I used. I will be changing up a couple of products just because I'm still testing out things and messing around with that side of it. Your girl's already got her high pony up. My earrings are sitting over there ready for me to be done because, girl, if there's one thing I've learned, I've been going through this major hoop phase for like the last, what, 2 months or something, 3 months maybe, and I've learned that trying to put on your foundation with hoop earrings in, girl, stop. You have like big old hula hoops on your ears and you're sitting here trying to buff in your foundation. You are asking to either rip your earlobe off, tangle yourself, knock your earring off. Like, you're just asking for frustration. And your girl is not all about that today. It is early. I am tired. I slept for like 10 minutes last night and I need a little less frustration. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to take my glasses off here and we're going to get started, and it's going to be a good time. Girl, I always forget how blind I am without my glasses on. Hello? The world is gone now. But I got my high pony. What's up, girl? Yeah! So first things first, we're going to start off with a little bit of my Tatcha Silk Canvas, just a tiny little amount here in the more porous areas of my face. And it is important whenever you're using this type of a product that you go in with a very little amount and really work and press it into the skin, because the name of the game today, honey, is nice, smooth, thin layers of application, and really just getting in there and getting this as worked in as possible. That way it doesn't accentuate your texture, it just fills in everything and calls it a day. Now this is a step I wouldn't normally do, but right now my skin is feeling like it could use just a little bit more hydration, just a freckle. So I'm going to go in with my Pixi Glow Mist here, and I'm going to use a very little amount. This is very hydrating, and truth be told, on my skin, this is probably not something I should use, but girl, needs a little glow factor. So just 2 tiny little squirts. So while that's soaking, let's go ahead and talk foundation, because for that video, I used the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. Guys, this is so stunning. Now I am having some issues with it. It does crease very badly in my smile lines, like right through here, and the ones in between my eyebrows. But this foundation, oh my god, like, other than that, if I could take away that creasy factor of it, because once it creases it starts to break up, if I could take away that little piece of this foundation, it is heavenly. The way it looks, the coverage, it has like this really beautiful like glowy coverage to it. It's just gorgeous. I go in for the entire face and I like to mix LN2 and LN6 together. So I'm just going to take a little bit of both here on the back of my hands. Yep, and that was about way too much foundation. Cool, good. I'm just going to go ahead and smear it on there. That's actually a pretty good match. Good job, Paige. Good job. So this foundation, while you're applying it, it does give you, like I said before, really beautiful coverage. The only thing you want to be mindful of is really pressing it into the skin, because it can get very thick, at least for me, if I'm not very mindful to work in super thin layers and really work and press it in. Now in that video, as well as in today, I will also be using LN2 by itself for my concealer, because with this particular foundation, you can actually take the lid off and get a little doe foot here. Now this product as just a concealer, I haven't tested out a ton, so keep that in mind. This is something I'm still personally testing out. Why are there always cat hairs on my face? That's what I want to know. Always cat hairs, always, and they're like everywhere. Like, why? What did I ever do to deserve so many cat hairs on my face, other than own cats? So now that we have the foundation on, normally we would powder, but oh no, honey. When Paige is going for that beautiful, glowy, bronzy look, honey, she is going in with all kinds of cream products, and we're going to start off with this. This is the Catrice Triangle Artist Contour Stick, and it's in the only shade they make, which is warm brown. And I did talk about this and what's new with Catrice, which I'll link up here. This is one of their newer products, and guys, it is a beautiful cream stick. Mine did end up like kind of getting mushy and breaking. I'm not sure what that's all about, but this is the stick that I used in that video, and this looks so good. So what I like to do is kind of come in here and I'll tap it like right in this area. I'll actually take it a little bit above where the normal line would be, which is right here. That way when I blend it out, it kind of blends into that line, if that makes sense. because I'd rather have it go a little bit higher than a little bit lower, just because it does help amp up that cheekbone a little bit more. And I did mention in that video where I reviewed this stick foundation, but this is one that you can really build up and get a little bit more control. I also love the Huda Tantour though, so if you have that and you prefer a quick build, you can go that route as well. So once we have this region around the face kind of good and bronzed up, I do like to take this and hit the jawline a little. So I just kind of take and I'll look at myself head on, and I'll just kind of shave off a little bit just right there. You guys can see it looks a little crazy before you blend it out, but once you do, what it'll end up giving you is a nice little shadow in that region just to conceal all of those, you guessed it, Dorito Cheeto cupcakes, everything we ate over the weekend that we should not have done, all the relaxation, all the margaritas. Girl, we're gonna just make those disappear, which is amazing. I'm sorry, carbs who? I don't know what you're talking about. Never had one in my life, thanks. Now I will also take a little bit of this and hit the sides of my nose and then around the mouth. This is very similar to the Scott Barnes technique. I'll actually link my Scott Barnes video up there. The lip portion of that I kind of do here as well. And it looks a lot, it looks very excessive, but I just take this and kind of rub it in with my finger. And what it does is create like a faux shadowing around your lips, and it just makes them look nice and plump. And then next up, we're gonna go in with the NYX Bear With Me Hydrating Cheek Tint. And this cheek tint is so, so beautiful. So I'm just gonna take some of it actually on the butt of my little sponge here. I'm gonna get it going. Boom, 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 a little bit right here. Look at that color, ooh, so good. And then I'm just going to lightly add it to the cheek. Now again, this is just a layering exercise. I will be going in with powder and powder blush, but this little hydrating cheek tint pops through so beautifully, and this color is just, it's everything. I know it looks a little intense, but once you get going with everything else, oh my, it's so good. Now this is something I didn't do in that video, but I figured, girl, why not? We're on the cream products. I'm gonna grab my Too Faced You're So Jelly Jelly Highlight, and this is in Gilded Champagne, and I talked about this so many times. I haven't talked about it in a while, but I did talk about it a lot a couple months ago when I first tested it. It is the most beautiful jelly highlight, and normally I do not love these, but guys, this is so magical. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my cheek here and just kind of get in there. I didn't do this, like I said, in that video, but I mean, we're here and it's adorable, so why not? Let's get in on this, hello. And I'm really going in light with this. I just want it to be a light little layering. I don't want it to be anything that really like sticks out like crazy. Just a very, very, like I said, light layering technique. Now I'm just going ahead here, patting out my concealer, because girl, it gets crazy on me real fast, and we're gonna go ahead and set the face. And to set the face today, I'm going to use the Hourglass Translucent Veil Setting Powder. In that video, I had used the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect, and I just want to see if the Hourglass one will help with the smile lineage a little bit more. All right, so with the face good and set, now we're gonna move on to powder bronzer, and for that, I'm gonna be taking this little double right here. You guys have seen me use this a ton. It is from BH Cosmetics. This is their Brilliance Bronzer in Golden Gal, and I'm taking this on my IT Cosmetics Blurring Powder Brush. I just like to really get in here, and this is a nice light fluffy duo fiber, so the way that it applies this powder is just so light and seamless. Now I've been asked this question several times. I don't know if they still make this. I've looked all over for it and I can't find it. This is from their like original Get Started set that I bought like 3 years ago, and like I said, I don't know if they still make this or not, but any fluffy duo fiber will work. The whole point though is just to really get in there and almost buff that bronzer into your skin, because essentially what you're doing here is you're wanting to just build the gradient look between the harshness of a cream bronzer, because if you're like me and you're super fair, it can pull a little harsh up against pale skin. And what I love doing with this bronzer is just going in and kind of diffusing that harshness by creating a nice fade effect, so you really can see like a deeper portion on the outside versus this nice like faded in area all through the middle of the forehead onto this upper cheek region, and it just gives you that beautiful gradient that in my opinion is what makes this whole look really work. Now in that video, I used the NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte Blush in Daydream, and instead today I want to use this one. This is one of their Sweet Cheek blushes as well, but this is a glowy version and it's in Citrine Rose, and it's so, so gorgeous. Not that the other one isn't gorgeous, but I'm really wanting that like nice juicy look for my cheeks. And I also went through and swatched a ton of these, which are new to NYX, in that NYX video as well, so if you haven't checked that out, you definitely should. I'm just going to lightly kind of flush the cheek. One of you actually told me what this thing is. It's the Wayne Goss Holiday brush from like a year or two ago. And I love this brush so much. By no means do you need to use this brush. Obviously you can't get it, and it was very pricey. But whatever you use, just make sure it's a light pressure. It's a very light veiling, because the one thing you don't want to do with this look is really chunk up any one thing. You want everything to look nice and fluid. You can have an intense blush. Like right now, I built that up. It's definitely noticeable, but it's not chunked on in one area. It's really nice and like carried through all the planes, and it's present everywhere. And that's the idea of this look, just to give everything like equal representation on the face, and give everything a nice like glowy appearance, if that makes sense. Now next up, I'm going to grab my Pixi. This is their Flawless Finishing Powder. I've been using this a ton. This is in translucent, and I use this as just an all over finishing powder to really meld and press everything into the skin. Oh my god, this is so good. This really does do a beautiful job at really pressing everything into the skin. Normally I would use my Hourglass Ambient Trio. I've used that so many times on my channel, and I started using this one. Obviously I tested it out in my Full Face of Pixi, which I will link. Guys, that is one of my favorite videos. I discovered so many things I'm even using in this video. Such a good video, such an awesome brand. I'm full on loving them right now. And this powder, it's not a dupe for the one from Hourglass, because it doesn't give you like that glowy ambient kind of sheen that the one from Hourglass does. But what this does give you is the same like beautiful pressed in feel to your skin. It really buffs your products together, and it helps make your foundation look so seamless. Now it's time for brows, and in that video I used a brow pencil from Revolution Pro. I did a full video on them. I can link that as well. But for today I want to use my brow powder. It's been a minute since I've gotten to dive in. So I'm going to take my Urban Decay Double Down Brow here in Neutral Nana and my Morphe JS7 brush for eyebrows, and I am just going to lightly fill in my brows with some good old light color. Now I'm going to go in with just a little bit of my ABH Dip Brow here in dark brown. There's even a friggin' cat hair in my brow gel. What world do I live in? And now I'm just grabbing my Morphe JH41 here and a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape in Porcelain Beige. I'm going to conceal the underside of my brows just to clean them up and prime and prep the lid with that same Tarte Shape Tape. I mean, that's close enough, right? They're relatively even. Good enough. Remember, today's look is all about chill and bronzy, and I don't want to spend any more time on my brows, so they're good. Now that the eyes are all primed and ready to go, this is the part I thought was kind of funny. In that video, I had so many comments that are like, girl, we have to know what's on your lids. Like, it looks so beautiful. Guys, I'm not kidding you. Bronzer and highlight, and literally done in 12 seconds. So I went in with this bronzer, the BH one, same one I used for my face, and this is the ColourPop little fluffy brush. I don't know which one it is because it's not labeled. So we're just going to take a little bit of this here. We're going to repat out the lid because your girl gets crazy real fast, and we're just going to lightly kind of stamp this on the outer V and then pull it through. And then I like to kind of work it in an upward motion because I do have very closed off little eyeballs. So I like to take it and just rough it up into this region and do circular motions, but going up toward my brow up there. And what that does is it helps kind of create the illusion that my eyes are larger set than they are. It'll help really open them up once we get the highlight in there. Then just a little bit down here on the lower lash line, nothing crazy, just enough that says like, oh girl, there's a lower lash line there. She's cute, she's sexy, she's alive. She might not be awake, but she's alive. All right, you guys, so at this point we have a lot of bronzy going on. The skin is looking great, but we are desperately missing some highlight. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. This is the Catrice HD Active Performance Freezing Spray. I also talked about this in that Catrice video that I linked, so if you're curious what it's supposed to do or any of that good stuff, go ahead and check out that video. Guys, I know this will be a shock to all of about 0 of you, but to go in and glow up the face today, we're going to use this guy from Pixi, the Rach Love Glow On Layering Palette. I am die-hard obsessed with this palette so much. I love applying all of my highlights lately with this brush. This is the Morphe JH05. It's a beautiful round little brush, and it really just gets in there and like helps me buff it into the skin. Again, I'm really into this whole buffing motion right now for highlight. I can't tell you what a difference it has made, no matter the highlight, no matter if it's thicker or thinner or whatever. It just, this is so good, and this highlight is just like so blinding. So this is the layering palette. Again, I did talk about it a lot in my Full Face of Pixi, but what I like to do is start off with the shade Clutch, which is this big old pan right here, and you need a very little amount of this highlight. It is pretty intense, and I start up here at the top of my cheekbone, and I just really start to buff it in. And again, I prefer to work in layers. But like, look at that shine just off of a tiny, tiny little microscopic amount. And then I go in just with my finger here and I mix clutch and lace together. And this is what I pop on my eye. I just kind of go in and I very lightly veil the lid. More intense at the front and then kind of fade it out to the back. And then obviously the inner corner of the eye right there has to be blinding because we love that. And then I drag a little bit onto the lower lash as well, right under the tear duct. So now with that all on, we're going to go in with the Catrice HD Active again, set the face. And then you guys know the drill. I love to go in and set everything down with a dewy spray as well. This is the Catrice Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. And I use a very little amount. Doesn't matter what dewy spray it is. Very, very little amount. That's just 2 sprays, and that's just because I am normal to oily. If you are normal to dry or dry, girl, go ham, do whatever you do. But for me, I love the glow, but my oil does not. So I have to be very mindful. Oh my God, I look so good. Oh, girl. Where's my damn girl mascara? Because that's the mascara I need. It is the biggest mascara I've ever seen in my life. How is it not right here? I'm shocked it even fits in a drawer. I will find you, and I will use you. All right. Literally, I'm about ready to start auctioning off my soul to find this mascara. You guys, I was literally conceding and I found it. Oh, only clocked me at 28 minutes to find this one mascara, but I'm gonna use it, girl. Yes, okay. Let's relax. So I'm gonna go in first here, curl my lashes with my Tarte Lash Curler. And now I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara. And damn, girl, I'm glad I found it. Oy. Now that mascara is too thick for the lower lash line, so I'm going to go in here with the Wet n Wild Max Volume Mascara and hit the lower lash line. Alright, so now it's time for lips, and in that video I was testing out the Wet n Wild little Snowmelt lip polishes. Those have a matte finish, and typically for a look like this, I would go neutral color and I would go glossy or something to that effect. So I'm actually just going to grab a ColourPop lip liner here. This is in the shade Little One. I've been using this shade a lot lately. I'm just going to line the lips with this. I'm just going to pop a little bit of this gloss in. This is the Jeffree Star Gloss in Shockwave. Just a nice little light pop of something. You can use any gloss you want. It doesn't have to obviously be this one. If you want a clear gloss, a champagne gloss, a glitter gloss, an opaque gloss, whatever you're in it for, I just really like that lustrous little pop in the middle of my lips. And okay, you guys, this is the finished look. We are good. We're glowy. We're bronzy. I threw in my hoops and I am living. Now, these are not the same hoops from that video because RIP my $2.88 hoops from Walmart. I broke them over the weekend. I am so sad. I need to go buy another pair. These are just ones that I got off of Amazon. They're just rose gold, regular, big old hoops. You can literally get them anywhere. They're like $2, $3, super inexpensive if you can wear, you know, cheaper jewelry. But even without the hoops, guys, I hope that this was helpful to really showcase what I did to get that full face, why I do what I do, and kind of how I look at the products while I'm applying them, because I do think to some extent all of those little things go into making a look like this kind of come together and round out the face, and, you know, making sure you have a nice bronzed gradient on the skin and things like that. I just feel like it all kind of adds up to a really beautiful bronzy look. And you guys can let me know down below, do you like it? Did you take anything from this video? Was it helpful at all? I definitely hope it was. As for today, you guys, that is it for this video. Like I said, I hope it was helpful. It seems so weird for me to sit down and do more of like a tutorial base because I just see myself still as such an amateur when it comes to makeup, and I'm always like, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, Paige. Like, everybody else does better makeup than you do. So I hope it's helpful, and it seems so weird to sit down and film this, but if it was helpful to you guys and you all wanted to see it, then that is all that matters. So I really hope that you love it. Don't forget to tell me what you think down in the comments, and check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. They are both linked in the description down below. And don't forget, you can also subscribe and turn on your post notifications for this here YouTube channel. I do upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Y'all, they go up bright and early, between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan. But anyways, you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Definitely subscribe again, turn on your post notifications, and get ready for those 5 videos a week because it's just a good way to wake up. You're like waking up, Folgers in your cup, smiley face cup. Anybody else remember that Wayne Brady commercial where he's like, every morning I wake up, I reach for my smiley face cup and get a little pull from you forever. No, just me. Okay. I don't want to call you back, telemarketer. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. What? Oh my God, who is this snatched little beauty queen with a high ponytail? That's me, girl. Hello. Where's my pillow? I feel like I need some back support. I'm like 97. Girl might be glowy, but her spine still don't work right. Her lips are devil red, and her skin's like a lemonga. Wow, 5th grade Paige is shook right now. Shook to the core.